Yeah, really looking forward to the challenge, and like I say, it's been so nice to be back. Well, it used to be Chittagong, obviously, now it's Chittagong, so someone needs to tell me why the name's changed, but yeah, look, great to be back, and yeah, haven't played T20s in Bangladesh before, but always enjoyed coming here and competing against a very good quality team, especially in their conditions. So the chance to play some T20 cricket, along with quite a few new players in the Black Cap side, is something that's really special and very different to the first time I came here. Yeah, the thumbs, oh, mate, unbelievable. Like, you know, I had surgery probably 4.5-5 weeks ago, and you know, when I saw the X-ray initially, I thought it would be a really long recovery, but no, it's been really fortunate, and the surgeon did a great job. So yeah, back ready to go. Yeah, look, I think the 𝗿𝗺𝗽𝐴 Pacers were really impressive, and I think you know, the way they bowled, they would have challenged almost every side in the world. I mean, you know, 𝗏𝗏 Rana, I hadn't seen him bowl before, but you know, he held his pace almost every ball that he bowled across 10 overs, and I don't think I've seen a lot of international bowlers be able to do that in Asian conditions before. So
সব মশার বিরুদ্ধে সুরক্ষা দিতে এলো বসুন্ধরা এক্সট্রিম অ্যারোসল মশার বিরুদ্ধে এক্সট্রিম সুরক্ষা.
Yeah, you know, looked really challenging, and I think to come away with a really good win and a couple of good individual performances from our batters is something that's quite positive. But obviously looking forward to this T20 series. Obviously the 𝗿𝗺𝗽𝗼 side is a bit different. There might be some pace bowlers that we haven't seen before, so you know, we're going to have to take some of the learnings that we had against some high quality seamers in the last ODI series and try to do our best in the T20 series. But I think it's kind of good that they've had a taste of the conditions already. Like I say, you know, I think the way that Mustafizur and 𝗏𝗏 Rana bowled in the last series, I mean, yeah, I mean, them not being there, you know, definitely poses slightly different challenges, but also there's a lot of unknown. You know, sometimes when you see players a few times, then you know, you can build plans against different bowlers, but now it's a completely new side, and that'll present new challenges. But you know, anytime you've got someone that's world class like the Fizz, and then you know, obviously 𝗏𝗏 Rana, the way he's bowling at the moment, definitely leaves a hole in your side. Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, it's like international sport's so great. Like, you know, when I first came to Bangladesh in 2013, the Black Cap side was completely different. And, you know, coming here now with some new faces, some young guys, some guys that have played a lot of domestic cricket but not so much international, you know, and obviously Bangladesh being a completely different side. You know, I remember the first Bangladesh team that I came and played against here. I don't think there'll be anyone in the team in the Bangladesh side that was there in 2013. So yeah, look, it's going to be a good challenge, some inexperience with the players internationally, but that's the beauty of sport. You know, there's a cycle that always changes, and I think, yeah, we're really looking forward to the challenge. And Bangladesh always is going to be challenging in their conditions. You know, they know how to bowl here, they know how to bat, so yeah, it's going to pose a good challenge. But I think with the amount of cricket we've played in Asia now, even the young guys, you know, hopefully we've got the skills to be able to sustain it. Yeah, look, that's very tough, you know, because we don't often get to see a lot of the Bangladeshi like domestic teams when we're over in New Zealand. So some of the names are a bit new. You know, obviously some experienced guys like Litton's there, and I'm pretty sure like 𝗏𝗏, you know, a few players that have played quite a lot. So it's going to be a bit of a mix, but you know, you just have to try to be really adaptive as a spin bowler. A lot of the batters can pose different threats on different days, so T20 cricket's like that. You just have to look within and hopefully, you know, come out on top. Yeah, look, he's been really good. I think, you know, the fact that he was able to go to Australia and bowl so well in the Big Bash, you know, shows that he's a really versatile spin bowler. Sometimes when you see, you know, Asian leg spinners, they can often be quite low and skiddy and, you know, flat and that sort of thing. But he's quite traditional. You know, he gets up and over the ball and gets a lot of bounce. And you know, it's probably a type of bowler that you haven't seen from this part of the world for a really long time. So I think he's such an exciting prospect, and puts a lot of revs on the ball. And yeah, I sometimes message him every now and then on Instagram and that sort of thing. So it's quite cool to have that connection over here. And yeah, I think he's got a great future ahead, and hopefully he can even crack into some Test cricket. You know, it'll be really cool to see you know, a leg spinner playing Test cricket again, which, you know, is quite rare these days, isn't it? So, but he's certainly got the skills to do that. Like cricket stats or stars. Oh, okay, yeah, cool, yeah. Yeah, so I think I was talking to Lockie Ferguson actually when we were on transition and coming over here. He was going to the IPL, so we were on the same flight, and something came out in the news that there was about 40 or 50 New Zealand cricketers playing somewhere in the world at this time. You know, our domestic season, our home summer was over probably a month or so ago. So the fact that we've got so many cricketers playing around the world, I think, is brilliant for us as a cricketing board. the fact that we're still able to play international cricket during that IPL window and try to, give guys opportunities that perhaps haven't played in some of those leagues or, haven't experienced these conditions before, I think is amazing. And I think the great thing about New Zealand cricket teams is, even if some of those big stars are playing in the IPL or in the PSL, etc., we've always been quite competitive in these series. So I don't know if you saw recently, like we were missing quite a few players from the India ODI series. They were committed to some other cricket, but we managed to play an amazing series and win that series. So the depth is great, and I think the chance to build on that depth is brilliant. As long as we can stay competitive against some really good teams, I think there's no real issue. Yeah, again, I've been really fortunate to have so many great experiences over the years. But yeah, I've never struggled with motivation when it comes to playing for New Zealand, and I think because my career has been, started as a Test cricketer, then I went to T20, then I went back to Test cricket, I went to T20. I feel like, there's always been something that keeps me, challenges me and keeps me focused, which is really good. And sometimes I think I have been around for a really long time and had those experiences, but I'm only 33 years old, so it's not like I'm 38 or something like that, and sort of starting to think, oh man, what's going on here? But the motivation's still really good there, and it's nice and strong, and it's really nice now to also be able to have that experience and pass it on to the young spinners that are coming through, and try to make a bit of an impact there. But you're always pretty motivated to play for New Zealand, and especially when you get to come overseas and experience some new cultures and completely different environments. It's really exciting. Yeah, I've spoken to Richard like a few times, not necessarily about cricket, but yeah, I sort of speak to him a little bit every now and then. So during the series, I'll probably catch up with him and get an idea of how he's going and what works for him in these conditions, etc. So. But I think he's such a talented bowler, and I think he's only going to get better and better. Like he's had such a great start to his international career and also franchise level, and I think he's just going to get better and better. I see the sparks flying. So I think the sparks always fly. So, like Bangladesh is such a passionate cricketing nation, and they're very competitive guys, and yeah, who knows? You just got to make sure you're nice and competitive and give it a good crack. But no, that was a great time to be a part of that series. And like I say, our team is very different from that series as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But it's always going to be competitive. I'm not too sure. What the moods in their camp and stuff is going to be like. But like I say, I think. They'll probably already be looking ahead to the next T20 World Cup. The thing about international cricket nowadays is things move so quickly. You almost have to leave some of those things in the past. And, I can't actually remember what the decision was around why they didn't go to the World Cup. But, a lot of those players that are playing now, like Bangladeshis are very competitive and very motivated to play for their country. So, especially when you get young guys coming in and playing for their country for the first time, they won't be thinking about, why did we not go to the World Cup? They'll be thinking, right, I want to play for my country in front of my home crowd and, be really excited about that. So, and then also the great thing about, international cricket now is there's a T20 World Cup every 2 years. So you almost got to look at, what you can do as a team or as an individual to be able to, get back and play some of those world tournaments. And, what's gone is gone. And I think this might be a good start, like a fresh start for, some of the Bangladeshi players, the young guys, and a chance for them to, show what they're made of.
That's all the time we've got there, guys.
Cool.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, boys. Thank you so much. Cheers.
For more updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Download 𝗃 Sports app to enjoy exciting games and highlights. Visit 𝗃sports.com.